Have you ever wondered how so many of my subscribers make up to $10,000 a month from places like Pinterest? Making this type of money is super easy when you do just 3 simple things. In this video, I'll show you how to use your call center experience and social media browsing experience to secure a job that lets you work from anywhere, go on vacation, and spend more time with the people you love, aka living the soft life, okay? Now, whether you've applied for hundreds of jobs, bombed the interviews, or have gaps in your resume, it's not a big deal. This video has everything that you need to get the job. So the first thing that you need to know when it comes to making $10,000 a month from just your social media experience and working in call centers is you gotta know which job titles to look for. And here's the thing, a lot of the titles that you're gonna see today may be titles you've never heard of, and those are actually hidden things that you have experience with. So don't let these titles mislead you. Don't let them intimidate you. Let me show you exactly what I mean by these job titles are things that you already have experience with. So let's go ahead and look at this first opportunity, and I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. So this first opportunity is going to be for the revenue operations specialist, okay? And yes, it's open to San Francisco, or if you want it to be fully remote, Pinterest is a remote friendly company, so you don't have to live in San Francisco. This job can be done completely remotely. So when it comes to this job, understand that a revenue operations specialist is going to be a glorified data entry clerk that has a little bit of experience in things like collections or things like billing support. So it says down here, we're seeking a revenue operations specialist to join our team and to help grow the revenue. Okay. Now what you're going to do is down here, it says you're going to manage all third-party invoicing and reconciliations. You guys already do this, especially if you've ever worked in collections and you've had to call individuals or you had to call other companies to say, hey, just wanted to let you know that you've got an outstanding balance with us. We just wanted to know when we could anticipate that payment. Now, because this is going to be more of a data entry kind of position, you're probably not going to be calling people. More than likely, you're going to be sending emails. So the job is even easier for you to send an email saying, hey, you've got an outstanding invoice with us. Please pay it as soon as possible. And then once they pay it, you mark it as paid in your books. And that is what is known as reconciliations. Okay. So serving as the billing lead for new business initiatives. A lot of companies will partner with Pinterest and they'll do special projects with other companies. So this is something that you'd be responsible for, just making sure that people pay the bills that they owe Pinterest. Or if Pinterest owes other vendors money, making sure that those things are paid, right? So it says other responsibilities are going to include journal entries and reporting, okay? So you all report on things every day in your current job. Even if you're a stay-at-home mom, you're providing reports to somebody. We all know what reporting is, okay? We all understand using a budget and reporting on that budget. We all understand reporting on, child incidents at daycare, all that sort of stuff. So as I've told you, this is a glorified billing support job, okay? If you've got any billing support, customer service support, any collections experience, this is going to be very easy for you to do, okay? Now, you might collaborate with some teams, whether it's in these IT or finance or sales departments. They might say, hey, did we get this invoice paid? Or, hey, can you give me insight on what the revenue was for our IT department? Little things like that. Nothing that is hard for you to ultimately do, okay? And supporting the month end close and financial reporting, telling your boss how we're doing. Okay, boss, we got everybody paid. They paid us. We're going good. Okay, that's about it, right? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Now, having 5 years of experience in revenue accounting or a similar role. As I just told you, a similar role would be working in collections, working in billing support, doing data entry. Even if you worked as an office manager, an office assistant, All of this is going to be similar experience. You already have this experience, okay? You want to know how much this pays, right? Okay. Well, let's look at how much it pays. This job, even if they started you out at the bare minimum, you're making $80K a year. That's about $40 per hour. But most of you that have worked in a call center or that have worked in customer service roles, I don't even care if you did a job at McDonald's where you were responsible for hiring the new high school kids. You had to run payroll for them. You had to do invoicing and all that stuff to pay those vendors at McDonald's. So you need to be coming in at mid-range pay, which for me, this would be easily $110,000. I would not take less for this job, especially if I've got 3 years of customer service experience where I've handled some invoices or supported some bill payments, right? So $100,000, $50 an hour, probably $55, $56 an hour for those of you that have any, experience in supervising and that sort of stuff. Okay. So we're not taking less than $110,000 for this, right, guys? Right. Let me know. All right. So again, it says final salary is based on your location, travel, and your skills and expertise. Again, you guys already have the skills and expertise for this. So some of the things that you make sure that you put in your resume are going to be CRM. All of you have used a CRM at some point in time. Something else that you really want to call out is going to be this third-party invoicing and then the reconciliations, okay? Don't just go out here on the internet and get these little generic templates that don't have the hot words. Again, I've told you, I've already done the resumes for you. I put all the hot words in there, but you should have at least 8 to 10 hot words in your resume in order to pass that ATS system, which gets your resume into the recruiter's hands. So you want to make sure you have those things. Again, you guys already have this experience. Now moving forward, you know that you can search for job titles like this and be making 6-figure salaries. So we're no longer going to just search for a billing support agent job title. We're going to search for revenue specialist, right? Because we want to get the big money. Okay. So now let's look at the next job that we have. Okay. The next job that we have is going to be one that has come around before. We've actually had people that landed this job. Somebody else landed this job. She was like, you guys can stop applying for this role because I got this role. Okay. So she got lucky and she did everything when the video first came out. The last time I posted this video, like several months ago, she jumped on it. She applied. She got the job. Okay. Again, the templates are there for you if you need them. Now, you may be saying, okay, Jazzy, what the heck is an integrity analyst? Remember how we talked about how you were going to take your social media browsing skills. I didn't say they had to be professional, just social media browsing skills, and you're going to apply it to the job. Well, Jazzy, how do we do that? Well, it says the trust and safety team is dedicated to ensuring that people on Pinterest have a safe experience. This includes taking challenges at scale and detecting policy violating content and ensuring that Pinterest is legally compliant. Okay, what the heck does this mean? Well, when it comes to policy violating content, how many times have you guys seen a video on Facebook that either had some sort of violence in it, or maybe it just had some content that was a little explicit, and you hit that little report button and you were like, I don't want to see that on my timeline. Okay, well, this is what they mean by detecting policy violating content. Okay, so anything that could be inappropriate for children to see on Pinterest or for anybody to see on Pinterest. Again, you've already got experience with that, but I will show you what that looks like on a resume. So it says you're going to protect the users from bad actors on Pinterest. This could also be like spam bots. This could be people that create fraudulent Pinterest accounts to try to target old people or something. Any type of bad actor is going to be what you're ultimately going to look for in this role. Okay. And doing some monitoring, making sure again that the platform is safe and that people are using the platform in the way that they're supposed to be using it. Okay. Detection and monitoring. Okay. You might work with other people from different, teams every now and then if there's some sort of project that you're going to work on, but your main job is going to be making sure that you flag inappropriate content. Okay. So again, a lot of you have experience working with data already. If you've ever done data entry, you've ever worked with any type of customer relationship management systems, you had to input data, you had to analyze, and troubleshoot customer issues. If they called in and said, hey, my phone's not working, or I'm having some other issue, you had to troubleshoot that already. So you've got this experience. Many of you have either gone through training for or directly worked in trust and safety or fraud. I don't care if you did it with chargebacks. You could have done it with filing disputes. Spam, that's another one that we all have experience with. Okay. So again, you guys have this experience already. And if you're not proficient in SQL, go watch a YouTube video on it. Type in intro to SQL. It's very, very easy to learn those basic SQL commands, right? Okay. What does this pay? If they paid you the absolute lowest possible, you're making $100K a year. But most of you, again, I want you asking for mid-range pay. So you need to be asking for 130, 140. Okay, for those of you that have worked in any type of data analyst positions, even if you work as a security guard or you work at a daycare center, we're talking about protecting people and protecting children. So let me show you what that looks like on paper. Let's say I was going up for the integrity analyst role. How would I write that out on my resume? If I worked at a daycare, well, what if I said something like this? Facilitated online child safety training to, 100 plus parents, maybe to provide a secure environment during internet usage in the classroom, right? Reporting spam content to who? The cybersecurity and trust and safety team. We literally just use all these hot words about providing a secure environment, online usage, internet usage, reporting spam, cybersecurity. You've got all these hot words already, and this is just in line one. Again, I've done the resumes for you. I tried to save you guys the work, but I'm just showing you how if you work at a daycare, this right here is the type of stuff that you do that relates to being an integrity analyst. You don't have to directly work in that role. You just have to do something to support it. That's the story that we're telling. That's the story that you should be telling, right? Because they can train you on everything else. Well, Jazzy, what does that look like if I didn't work in a daycare? What if I worked for AT&T? So this one right here is for a daycare teacher. And then let's do one for if you worked as customer service rep for AT&T. What would that look like? Well, if I were a customer service rep for AT&T, how would I weave that into my experience, or if I'm shooting for this role? Maybe I would put something like, something like that. All you want to do is show them that you understand fraud, or you can put fraud and spam related cases per week. Maybe customers are calling in about they're getting spam callers, or they're getting spam text messages, or they're getting spam emails, and they're calling AT&T to say, hey, is there a way that I can block these spammers from calling me? Is there a way that I can block these fraud people from trying to get my personal information through text messages? Well, guess what? As a CSR, customer service rep for AT&T, you do that every day, right? Now we got into how this whole integrity analyst position, how it relates to that sort of stuff. Because remember, they said they wanted you to have some experience in fraud and spam. Well, you got that experience already. We just talked about that. So we've covered half of what they're looking for already. And then you work with data. We've covered that as well. You work with customer data, right? How else could we say that? You might, I don't know. Let's see. You might want to say in your resume, again, we just want to get the hot words out there. Maybe you participated in, I don't know. So maybe you participate in yearly trainings to recognize child abuse content and inappropriate use of sensitive data, and when to report it, the trust and safety team, something like that. Maybe you participated in 4 yearly trainings, something. Do you understand how the stuff that you're doing as a customer service rep, the tickets that you receive, the phone calls that you receive, if somebody's calling about doing a chargeback, they're calling about reporting fraud, all of this relates to being an integrity analyst. It literally goes back to fraud, spam, investigations, trust, and safety. You guys have this experience already. Now, I've given you most of what you need to apply for these roles, but that's going to mean absolutely nothing if you don't understand what to say in the interview and how to answer simple questions like, tell me about yourself. So I did do a video about, it's basically an interview cheat sheet video, okay? And a bunch of people have landed the jobs by simply going to that video, reviewing those questions. And a lot of them say it was that magic wand question that helped them get the job. And a lot of you guys know what I'm talking about when I say magic wand, okay? So if I were you, I would go ahead and start looking at these interview questions, because listen, when you send out your resume, you usually get a call back very quickly. They like to move fast. Go ahead and prepare yourself for these interview questions. Go ahead and check out that video, and then let me know what questions you guys have down below, okay? Better to stay ready so that you don't have to get ready, okay?